Warning. The following presentation may contain excessive alcohol consumption, obscene language, controversial opinions, heavy metal, and actual wrestling chat. As such, it has been rated M for metal.
Welcome to the Mosh Pit. Welcome along to the latest edition of Mickey's Mosh Pit. As usual, I'm your host, the heavy metal hooligan, Mickey. So, following the last episode, which I believe was episode 19, we are just a kick in the arse away from 1,000 listens on the audio version of this. So that's linked to your Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Now, I realise that's not massive numbers compared to Billy Strachan and the juggernaut that is his SWN podcast. But for the bullshit that I'm doing here, which is basically just generally getting some pals on, having a couple of drinks and talking just bollocks, mostly. Let's be honest. It is mind-blowing that we've got any idea of that number. So hopefully this being episode 20, this will push it over the 1,000 listen mark. We've still got another 3 episodes, I believe, before the end of the year. So I am looking for somewhere between 12 and 1,300 listens on the audio version, and I'd be delighted with that. If we get 1,500, amazing. If we get 1,500, I will keep this going regularly for every 2 weeks. If it's short of that, I do plan on keeping this going in some sort of capacity next year. But yeah, I've no idea what the YouTube's sitting at. I know it generally does do slightly more than the audio version, but yeah, like I said, it's just mind blowing. We've got anywhere near these numbers this year. As far as today's episode is concerned, we're talking to Captain Alan Sterling. Unfortunately, he wasn't as controversial as the boys probably hoped he would be. The Wrestlers One guys. He is known there for being very opinionated and controversial backstage. However, this chat was very subdued and restrained for Alan Sterling. I think we will try and get him back next year and see if we can get a bit more out of him. Get him to be just a little bit more controversial. Maybe it might just be we'll just get a couple more drinks in him and loosen those lips a bit. But yeah. So without spoiling it, we'll just jump straight into it. So here it is. It's Captain Alan Sterling. So welcome along to the latest edition of Mickey's Mosh Pit. Up today we've got a guy who's done quite a lot in wrestling as far as wrestlers are concerned. I mean, he's been there since the start. He's a multiple time Wrestlers Tag Team Champion. I think I'm right in saying he's the longest reigning Tri-Counties champion because he held it all through the lockdown. I mean, he's been a mixed martial artist. He's been a lord. He's been a captain. So here it is. This week we've got Captain Alan Sterling.
I mean, surely having the most gimmicks should be a title as well.
It should be.
that should be some sort of award.
Like, I don't know if I've forgotten any there. Again, I was like just straight Alan Sterling, but
there was just straight Alan Sterling. That's pretty boring. Yeah, there's obviously mixed martial, the captain, and
the Lord.
Oh, Lord Alan, of course. Yeah. There'd be more than even I can remember.
So yeah, it's one or two.
I mean, they've definitely got more and more ridiculous. Ridiculous on the way.
Yeah. Like I wasn't there for mixed martial art. That was before my time. Like I knew of it, but like I came in just as Lord stuff was starting.
Yeah. The mixed martial was just more down to facing Ross. He was meant to be like did MMA and stuff for that.
Aye.
So the gimmick was only ever really to lead up to that match, really, and that was kind of it.
Served its purpose.
So it served its purpose. So apparently, a storyline must contain a whole gimmick change.
Yeah, it's like we're still waiting for the getting like the Mick Foley thing, where you just eat every one of them in a rumble?
It's been mentioned. It's definitely been mentioned. I think it'd be worthwhile. I think maybe when I retire, when I'm on my way out, see a rumble. Sorry, don't retire is the right word. Stop doing it, whatever.
Retire, aye.
It was just retire, but I'm really going to retire. It's not my job, but
It's your career.
Aye, when I
like that'd be a mark. It's not a career.
when I stop putting a sailor's hat on, yeah, it'd be quite fun. It would be quite funny to do probably the most apt way to end my time in wrestling would be to go through all the shitty characters I've been, I suppose.
It is though. Like it's like some of them, like all of them have just been fucking belters. Like the promos and everything. It's just a fuck about a caper. It's fucking brilliant.
Oh, it is, yeah. I don't mind making a tit of myself. Especially if it's going to get a laugh. So yeah, that's what it's wrestling. You can't take it too seriously, I suppose, can you?
Yeah. I mean, we just like if it was just. I can't remember who was it. Martin mentioned that if everyone was just like black pants and fucking kick pads, it would just be shite.
It's wrestling's like a circus. Everything, the show's got to have something different for everybody. You got your guys who are straight laced and fantastic wrestlers, and you've got your guys that are big characters, and you've got your guys that are they're the stars, so they do their shit, but. That's what you've got. Your fast-paced guys, your actual wrestling technical guys, a bit of everything. Because if you get pizza every day, you soon get sick of pizza, don't you? So
yeah.
If you got six matches that are the same, I think by the end you're quickly losing interest.
Yeah, I think I can't speak for other pros, but wrestling have certainly got like someone for everybody.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, they're not the only one. There's many promotions that do, but there's some that can be very samey. I think.
Yeah,
but then again, they attract that crowd that like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so if my I as you mentioned earlier, started the straight lace stuff. Just Alan Sterling, and it was okay. It was fine, but I found I could make people laugh and get a better reaction just playing a character and do less. So I thought I'll just do less and get a reaction.
Yeah. I think Mr. P said he's basically said exactly the same thing. He's like, I can get a reaction and they have to bump. It's like, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, I don't mind bumping for anybody, as much as any match requires. But if you can get the same reaction without doing the bumping, then it kind of seems stupid to do it, really.
Yeah. Like you say that, and then you miss your fucking boat drop off the top rope. It's like, yeah.
Well, well, yeah. But that's only for the big ones. I've made an event at Halloween. I had to pull out the boat drop.
Yeah. You have to. Yeah.
You have to give something to make it just a little bit more different to your everyday standard run of the mill card match, I suppose, isn't it? If you're in the last match.
Yeah.
But pardon me.
Like I was thinking about it earlier, and I wrote it down, but it was like the boat drop, and then I remembered there was one match we had that
you wrote down boat drop.
I did. I actually wrote down boat drop.
the notes you took were boat drop. Really?
Boat drop. So yeah, and it got me thinking. Like the match we had at Christmas Chaos one year, I was me and Archer against you and William Sterling, and you did that, but onto a chair.
Oh yes.
It's like, oh yeah.
And then I think it was Damien, or was it Scottish? I can't remember. One of them had told me afterwards, I watched a guy do that, and the leg impaled through his leg. The leg of the chair impaled through the guy's leg. I was like, oh, you tell me now after I've done it.
Aye.
Well, to be fair, I suppose they never quite knew what I was going to do, but yeah, I wish I'd maybe heard that one before I did it. But thankfully it went all right.
Yeah. And that was another thing, like that was Christmas Chaos. I've worked 4 Christmas Chaos. Like, I was one I didn't work, but of the 4 I've worked, 3 of them have been against you.
Like it was, I think the first one we worked was the Foley show, and we worked Mr. P and Garrick, and I didn't work the. I was a ringside for Archer's match, and I did a match myself. The following year it was me against us and Archer, me and Archer against you and William Sterling. The year after that it was me and Archer against you and Andy Wilde, and the year after that it was the four-way for the Tri-Counties.
To be fair though, we actually got quite a good run going with the what we were doing. When we were working on that tag team matches.
The tag stuff, yeah.
Projected against William Sterling. There's quite a few hot tags me and you had to do together.
Yeah.
So we got some quite good shtick going actually. Because I remember thinking when some of the moves that you had moves not game moves, but some of the ones you mentioned to me, I was like, are you strong enough to do that? And I was actually genuinely surprised that you were stronger than you look. Genuinely, I'm like, I don't think you can do that. You get me up on your shoulder because I think I'm quite heavy. Well, I am quite heavy, but I think maybe anyway. Side the point. So I'm like, there's no chance you get me up on my shoulder. That's never going to happen. And then boom, there you go. I know, but obviously yes, you know. But I was surprised.
I will say a lot of the shit I've got, it looks strong. It's momentum. It's not. I'm not deadlifting guys. There's a big motion to get up there.
Yeah. No, I mean nobody's really deadlifting guys, but yeah. I suppose if you put it like that, then maybe. But yeah, we got some good shtick there, I thought. In the end.
Yeah, I enjoyed that year on we had. Like that must have been a good part of a year. We were stuck together.
It was. I think it was. Yeah. Stuck together. Stuck together.
maybe the best word, but aye. Get what I mean.
It was the best part of a year, I think. But it was got some single matches. We used some single matches with Archer, and also you had your single matches with Williams, and we've got quite a few decent tag matches, I thought. But yeah, it's. I think it's the reason we got put together. Just they knew that it would work.
Yeah.
And then we'd put on a decent enough match. And of course, my last match before the pandemic.
Yeah, the match they aged very fucking badly, very fucking quickly.
If we'd done that now, I mean, that would be really, 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 really frowned upon. But when we sanitised the ropes and we sanitised the apron, and I slipped on the sanitised apron, and we were saying, "Oh no!" I was saying, "Oh no, COVID's in the crowd and stuff." And you were trying to get you were holding me trying to get folks to touch me, remember? I think, and I was like, "No, want folks to touch me because of COVID." But this was for everyone that watches it was very much before everyone knew how bad it was. It was very, very early days.
You say that, it was like 2 weeks later, everyone was shut down.
Well, yeah, but I don't think anyone ever expected when they did get shut down ever to get to that extent, did they?
Well, we certainly did that. Oh, we're here. There's this little wee thing going to be. We'll give me a match at this. That's fine.
I mean, if there's anyone that's going to, it's going to be me. I mean, got to stay on topic after all.
I'm not very hard to pop in matches or break in matches, but that I was gone. I was just broken.
Was it Mikkey there for that one? I think Mikkey was gone.
Mikkey,
too,
he went before me because I was at one point. It might have been what you called my tit. It might have been that bit, and Mikkey was broken, and he's making the count, and I could hear him giggling behind me. I was like, Mikkey, dinner, come on, I'm just right there on the verge. I was like, Mikkey was broken, I was gone. Fucking Caleb at ringside, he was gone. Martin and fucking Malice were sitting at the doing music and whatever. They were both gone. I was like, it's just a nonsense.
Trying to pop people is a fun game as well. Trying to pop open shows.
That's an art in itself.
I think it is. Denzel's the hardest one to get, but I think I've still got Denzel before. I'm pretty sure I've got Denzel before actually, because as you know, he's got the gimmick of ice cool.
He's nice, man. Yeah,
Denzel, hard to pop, never reacts to anything, but I'm pretty sure I've popped him before. I think
there must be at least one, surely, somewhere.
I'm positive there is, in fact. I'd have to double check with him, but I definitely think that there is. At least once anyway.
There has to be.
That has to be. Blow my nose. I grab another beer actually while I'm up. My fridge is just next to the table, so it's okay.
It's all right. If for folk listening audio, the one again you've gone, it's fine.
I mean, I know that on your show they normally have like posh beer, like well not posh, like your your craft beers and your whiskies and things. But I've just got a Tenants. So, I mean,
Tenants is fine with me. I don't care. Like I'm off for a Tenants.
I was at a Brewdog. What was it? The Brewdog AGM with my friends, and I was like, "Oh, do you think they'll serve Tenants?" No. I was like, "What if I ask for it?" Where's get shown the door? I was like, "All right, okay."
Oh,
so I had to attempt to find a new love for Brewdog. At that point, I didn't enjoy any Brewdog really.
Yeah.
There's a few that I like now, but for a while, just Tenants is. I don't mind Tenants. Everyone's got some people have this snobbish thing against it, but
it's like I can drink pretty much any beer. Like I've day up or down, but nothing. But like a couple of beer, I'm getting a couple of pills in a couple of weeks. It's all right. Well, we'll go whatever. They've booked a table at Brewdog at Castlegate. I'm like, well, here we fucking go. That's gonna be fucking. That's not a cheap day out.
Well, that's the thing as well. It's the price, is it?
Aye.
I
think just got the foundry, just £2 a pint. Tenants, that's fine. I'm not for that.
I think generally the let's see, I've lost my train of thought now.
Don't know. Somebody would.
Yeah, I remember when I in my younger days, of course, off to Mashuli normally with our Wrestle crew, when it was open, and actually asking the barmaid, "What's the cheapest beer you've got?" I think that was quite a common question.
And 9 times out of 10, it was Tenants.
Well, actually, in Mashulu, I'm pretty sure it's Foster's most of the time.
Or Foster's. That was the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I was partial. Actually, I haven't had Foster's in years. Actually, they still do Foster's. I think I've seen it in ages.
Fuck! I done again. I imagine so. I done again. I'd say something about it. Yeah,
I've never thought about it till this moment, but yeah, it's not what I've seen on the shelves in ages.
No, it's yeah.
Normally, I'm a man for just buying whatever's on sale. I think.
Whatever's cheapest.
whatever's cheapest. But I'll never go to the extent of that Malice and William Sterling went to one time. They told me they went to the extent of buying Spar beer. Spar's own brand lager, I think it was. And it was like page stripper, I think they told me. But no, there's no chance I'll ever go that low. I'll just go without. It's fine.
See, I used to, like my granda, he used to always buy just getting little stubby bottles for like Lidl's or whatever. And it was just like drinking water. There was no beer in it. It was like water down the fuck.
no beer in it.
Aye, it's like 0.5% stuff. It's like it's no beer. Like it just looks like water. That's no beer.
I think the reason I mentioned it because I think Ted, when he was on that wreck of a podcast show that you had when you were not even there, I think he mentioned about people go up to the bar and say, "What? I'll have whatever's your cheapest." Well, that was me and Mashuli. Me and Mashuli, whatever's your cheapest.
Whatever's cheapest, or nick in and fit you got an order before you get to the bar. It's like
I'm fine, right? I'll drink beer up until a certain point in the night where you want to go into something, but I never know what to go into because I don't like whiskey. Whether that makes me a man or not, I don't really care. I don't really like whiskey that much. I used to like vodka in my early days, but it's all right. But it's not that drink I'd go to. Rum's okay. I'm going to rum just now. Rum's all right. But yeah, I don't really have that drink. I'm missing that drink to go on to after beer because at some point you get too, sorry to say for these older men, but too gassy, shall we say.
So it's only so many pints you can drink before it's like, that's enough of that.
Exactly. I used to be partial to this a Disaronno as well with I know. But it had no zero alcohol in it, but it tasted all right. With Pepsi or Diet Coke, it tasted like Dr Pepper, which I was all right with.
Yeah.
So I pretty much tried most spirits, but I haven't found one that I really quite like to kind of go on to after beer. But then again, luckily I'm never out now, so
yeah.
not so much of a problem.
Yeah, like I always used to be Jack Daniels because Lemmy drank Jack Daniels, so that's why I drank it up for years and years, up until like I started drinking spicy rum because I just prefer the taste of it. It's infinitely better.
Spicy rum's all right. Jack Daniels I tried, but I just don't like the taste. I never liked the taste. I bought the Apple version, tried quite recently actually during lockdown. I think it was. Doing these Zoom calls with friends to have a drink, so I'll just try something different.
Aye.
No, I haven't found the Jack Daniels I like. So yeah, it's. I think it's the rum. The rum seems to be a favourite just now, so we'll go with that. But even some of them, they're not. There's not a massive alcohol content, so you're pretty relaxed. It's like you're drinking a beer, you're feeling the buzz, and you go right. I'll go on to my next one, a rum or a Disaronno even. And you're like, well, it just comes to a stop, grinds to a halt.
Aye. Like I think I mentioned in one of the other ones, but like I got pied off about maybe 2 years ago now, 2 and a bit years. And just around the time I got pied off, like I won like a drinks hamburger for one of the takeaways in Montrose. And it was just like, it was literally about 300 quid worth of booze, like just bottles of gin and rum and vodka and whatever else.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I just got paid off and I was out of work for like 2 months, 3 months, whatever. So I was like, well, every night it's like, oh, yeah, try some of this and some of this evening.
See, craft beer's never a thing either. Every time I go shopping, I'd buy a different craft beer or something. So I did, but I didn't really think that. I never really found one I liked.
Aye.
Every time I buy one, I'd take a scoop and go, oh, I like that. So I just end up pouring it. But I did find some brew dogs I liked. The punk IPAs is the standard ones that everybody kind of, the non-offensive ones I call them, the ones that don't like blow your taste buds or some sort of weird concoction.
Here's some passion fruit and fucking candy floss or some bullshit. It's like, fuck off.
Oh, exactly. It was one I saw was like marshmallow and raspberry or some crap like that. I don't know what marshmallow and raspberry taste like together in a beer.
If I wanted marshmallows and raspberries, I would go and eat marshmallows and raspberries. I don't want them in fucking beer. Just stop fucking about. Just didn't do it. But like, there must be a market for it somewhere, because obviously, like, if nobody was buying it, they would stop producing it. But they still make these fucking weird shit. So somebody must be buying it.
I mean, I think there's definitely a market for it. I mean, your hipster crew certainly like them, don't they? All these craft brew beers. But yeah, they take it to some extent, I think. I mean, I suppose we can't really question Brewdog, of course, can we? I suppose they've been slightly successful. That's what you need. I was thinking today when I knew I was doing this. I thought that's what you need. You need a beer sponsor. I mean, I don't know how much it would be to get a beer sponsor, of course.
Yeah, I don't think anyway.
Or what beer company would even want to sponsor you? But
especially after the last episode, or fucking that episode, the Mixer, like nobody's sponsoring this. After seeing that, like
the Mixer, you could get sponsored by like Benelin or something. You're on cough syrup, it seems. Benelin would sponsor you, easy. Or they use it as an advertisement for never mixing drugs in not drugs, sorry.
Yeah.
Prescription drugs, shall we say.
Over the counter drugs.
Over the counter drugs, not just any random drugs. We isn't just taking any drugs.
Yeah, please drink responsibly. There's
drink and take your Benelin responsibly.
Yeah, I like that. Even was a fucking disaster. It's just like I've seen before. There's no rules on this podcast, but after that, there's a new rule that I'm not allowed whiskey anymore.
I think it was just the slow decline was worse, wasn't it? I think it was just the like fine to obviously tipsy drunk to slurring his words, not being able to get words out, and then just gone.
Like I will say it's very fucking weird. Like because obviously I had to watch it back to edit it, and like I watched it back again. It's very fucking weird watching yourself getting that drunk.
Well, most of the time you're that wasted, you never remember it. So I mean, yeah,
like
having it on video.
Like that last probably part, like the kind of was in, I think it was 5 parts. I think the last part and a half, I didn't remember any of that. It's like, it gets to there and it's like scene missing. Like that was it. It was gone. Like I was watching that, and oh, I've never seen this before. I don't remember any of this.
I mean, it's something to show your kids, is it?
Well, here, kids, didn't drink because this is what happened.
Don't drink and take your Benadryl. This is what happens. Come on.
Yeah, just aye. So, yeah, I had name your whiskey for me on the podcast.
It did descend, didn't it? It did descend.
Like you said, it got to a certain point and it just dropped off a cliff and it was it. Nah, fucked
it. And then obviously a Grado in between that. But then I'm thinking me coming up compared to that disaster episode. I'm just going to eat nothing. What a nice calm conversation. that's
well, I think I did mention to some of the boys that we were doing this, so I think they're hoping for some controversy somewhere.
Are they? Oh. I'm trying to be nice. I'm being nice.
Well, we'll find out as we go on.
And I suppose early on we should mention that, I mean, many people won't know, but you know, here's a spoiler for everybody that me and I fucked already.
There's an edit.
Right, spoiler for everybody that me and Vago used to work in McDonald's together.
Oh yeah, I forgot to write that down. I did think about this and now I forgot.
Sorry, you forgot to write that down, but you wrote down boat drop.
So yeah, I remember that because that was like the first week I was in training because you and Damon used to train on a Sunday. Well, the new guys. And I remember like we were just stretching whatever, and you looked across and like, did you go to I was at Northfield Academy or whatever it was? I was like, no, I went to Samaria. He's like, I ken you for somewhere. And you just couldn't place me. And then you like we were back the following week and you just walked right in and went, McDonald's.
Thing is, I think we actually spoke quite a few times. I'm pretty sure we're on a night out together actually in McDonald's.
Yeah.
So it was. But you're a lot shorter here then.
I did. I think at that point I still the Megan. I think that was still rocking that.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Because that would have been like when I first started. That would have been a good fucking 10 or more years ago. I worked at McDonald's.
Right. So that's where we need to put the measuring stick in. Right. So did you leave McDonald's of your own choice?
I did.
You did
because I got the job that I was going to be trained to be a truck driver. So yeah, I left of my own devices.
I phoned to get a labourer's job. From my mate was working for an oil and gas company, and I phoned to get a labourer's job, and it turned out in the end I got his job. which is ridiculous when you think about it. But he got sacked and I got this job. But anyway, and damn. Well, if one of your best friends, I'm hardly going to remember to call him Damien, am I? Even though he's got a tattoo on his arm, I'm still not going to remember calling it. So anyway, he got sacked from McDonald's.
Yeah, he also worked there.
That makes him worse than us. He got sacked.
Yeah, and it was
thought he was on drugs.
They thought he was on drugs. He was. They just thought he was.
Imagine getting sacked for thinking you're on drugs. I'll tell you how seriously I took the McDonald's job. Do you remember Carol, the American woman that worked there?
Aye, the manager, yeah. Or she eventually turned down a manager or supervisor or whatever.
She might have
team manager.
So anyway, she was in the kitchen. She took it very seriously, like
she
very
did,
super serious. So I was in the kitchen and I started walking around with my feet up like this. I said, Carl, do you think we can pretend we're in space? and she said, no. Do you believe it? Because I didn't take that job very seriously at all.
No. I was there when I was in college. So I was like,
and I was young and stupid, and I'm not saying that people should not take their jobs in McDonald's very seriously, because I'm sure many people do. But I didn't.
Carol did. It was a career for her.
Oh, she did. Yeah, it was. I was. Walking out the training one day, McDonald's.
In fact, I was there just, I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago now, but like one of the guys that was there, like is the like I worked with, he's the manager now.
Is he?
Or he, like this was, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years ago. Like I spotted him, I was like,
What?
How the fuck are you still here?
What I hated was the night shifts. When you do the clean down, you got a
Aye.
taxi home, but you had to pull out all the grills and clean it off.
Aye.
And then you'd I can't remember who the bosses were at the time or the supervisors at the time, but some of them would let you eat the leftover food that's in the heater. Some would actually make you bin it.
Aye.
It's like nobody's going to know you binned it. Like you can record you binned it, but you don't actually need to put it in the bin. These people were so, but these people were so by the book. They actually made you put it in the bin.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand that.
Just a waste.
Like, no one's going to know you put it in the bin. So just give it to us. We'll eat it ourselves. It's fine.
Aye, it's like at this point, it's like I'm here till like fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. Just give us something to eat. Fuck off.
Did you ever get a chance to make up your own burger?
Yeah. What? Well, yeah. Depending who was on. You got the
I'm pretty sure I
But
made
like,
I
it's
made
like shit you see now. It's like double Big Mac. It's like I was doing that fucking 20 years ago.
exactly. I'm pretty sure I had a double quarter pounder before it was a thing. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I did.
It's like just extra meat and extra. I had this extra shit. It's like no, they're just doing that in the standard menu now. It's like,
I mean, as you walk past the tray, you got a standard chicken nugget anyway, didn't you? So,
aye, a wee chicken nugget wrapped in a cheese slice.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I ever took that job particularly seriously.
No, I think many people did. Like the folk that was here, it was that like young guys at college or whatever. I was like, I'm just here on my money.
Some people did. Some people took it very
Yes,
very
aye,
seriously.
there was a few.
Mostly that like your supervisors and types of manager wannabe type people, I suppose.
Aye.
But yeah, I mean, most never. Damien, right? Okay, Jesus. His career never started off. McDonald's never started off him getting sacked for having drugs. He was on the manager role. He was going to be following that path to being a manager.
So was I.
Was you?
I was a team. I don't know what they called it at the time. A team leader or what it was. I was on my way to be a shift manager when I left. I was on the way. I got the books.
You must have took it. You must have took it serious then.
Nah, I think it was just I was here for that long. Like I was one of the like, you've been here like fucking 3-4 years at this point. Like, well, you can be a manager now.
Until he got let go, of course, for thinking he was on drugs, which is still fun. Which is still amazing that people think you're on drugs when you're actually not. It's got to be the greatest story ever. I need a pee now. But the joy is, well, I know. But the joy is because I've got my wireless headphones in, you can actually listen as I go for a pee. Surely that's got to be the first on your podcast.
It would be, yeah. Like, if I had a Patreon, I would put it on there and folk could pay for it.
The captain having a piss.
There was one, I can't who it was that did it. Was it Dynamite maybe? Like there was one when he was putting on a drink and it sounded like he was taking a piss.
I thought you just said he was having a poo. That's a bit far. just in the backyard going.
Yeah, that's the on the Patreon. I also got to upload that to fucking Pornhub or some bullshit.
I'm gonna nip for a pee.
Right.
I mean, you can ask me questions while I'm peeing. I don't mind.
I don't know where I was going with it.
I mean, surely the first person you interview while they're peeing should really be me, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if there is a podcast to carry the interview going where he said it'd be, it's this one.
I'll make as much noise as I can just so everyone generally knows I'm peeing.
This is fucking tremendous content.
I don't care what anyone says. I've got to do something to make my episode unique, haven't I?
Yeah.
So if going for a pee is what I had to take, then going for a pee is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even wash my hands. Oh, jeez. Oh. What if young fans watch this episode
Yeah.
and they start not washing their hands?
I mean, if
And
there's
sort of like,
if there is young people watching this, they shouldn't be.
well, I mean, what if young adolescents are watching this and they're thinking, oh right, he doesn't wash his hands. I'm not going to wash my hands, and then we're into a whole fucking pandemic all over again. I don't want to be the cause of that.
No.
Right, I'm back.
So yeah, that was a thing. That was a first for the podcast.
I think that's got to stay in. That's staying in.
Aye, that's the got it. That's the get it. That's staying in.
The first podcast. That's got to be one of the first podcasts. There's probably not many podcasts that interview someone without having a pee. Surely.
I doubt there will be one. I think this might be the very first ever. Like in the history of podcasts, this will be the first. This will be what this podcast becomes known for.
No matter the limits, we will make sure we get the answers you want.
Yeah, that'll be the moment it puts this podcast on the map.
Going for a pee.
So yeah, that was a thing.
That was a thing. Okay. Any more questions, interviewer?
I probably should have. Like I said, I've got some notes. I did. Like I said, I did mention to the boys that you were coming on. So Scotty did tell me to bring up the backbreaker.
Oh my god.
So if you want to explain exactly what I mean by this.
Okay, right. So I think if memory serves me right, it was Forfer. I think.
That sounds about right. I think. Like it was before my
anyway,
time, but I've seen it, yeah.
And I went to do the backbreaker and I put the wrong knee down. And I'm pretty sure it was dynamite. I think it was dynamite.
Aye.
It
was.
And then I held him but I put my knee down, but I didn't just drop him straight away. I held him like that split second. I think in your head, why didn't you hit my knee? I'm like, oh, because I put the wrong knee out. That's why. Yeah, if you watch it back, you can actually see the split moment in my head. My head's trying to work it out. I was like, wait a minute, my knee should be there. It's like, nope, you put the wrong knee out. So yeah, that's become quite synonymous, I think, with me.
Yeah.
One that won't be forgotten easy.
Yeah.
Is putting the wrong knee out for a backbreaker. Yeah.
It does get brought up once or twice, especially if like they're training you guys to do backbreakers. Like, remember, put your right knee out.
Yeah. I don't think I did the backbreaker that much actually.
Yeah.
So when I pulled it out in that match, I think that I hadn't even practiced it enough, I think, to actually realize I was putting the wrong knee out. But yeah, anyway, that happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was another situation where I was taking a hot tag. I don't think it was in WrestleZone. I think it was in another company that will become nameless. And I'm pretty sure I bumped off a no clothesline. Like I expected a clothesline, or no, I'm pretty sure I expected a clothesline, and I was running at the guy bumping, and I think I just bumped, and he didn't go for the line. He didn't like follow through with the line or go over the line.
Yeah.
I just bumped anyway. it's very much in my early days when I shouldn't be on shows anyway, and I think I bumped off nothing. So yeah, that's my two probably most. I mean, go by my characters and go by the things I've done, like putting sheep shit on my feet. They're still probably my two most embarrassing moments.
Yeah, that's like I said. Some of them promos, like of all the fucking characters you've done, some of them are just gold.
Well, I suppose we should elaborate a bit further on the sheep shit on my feet for those who don't know, I suppose. I don't know why, to this day, I don't know why I decided that we had to be authentic and put actual sheep shit on my feet.
You could have worked it. I'm like, nobody was smelling it off.
Yeah, exactly. We could have just got a clip of mud and used that, but no. We had to use actual sheep shit. But then again, that might be Marlis's payback for winding him up for all the years, was to put sheep shit on my feet. But yeah, for some reason, I thought it had to be authentic, so we put sheep shit on my feet in that promo, or sheep doo doo as I called it. But yeah, I'm not really sure why we had to make sure it was sheep shit. But of course, you had the one where we went for the other one. Well, that was the farm one. I think it was one of the guys who trained. It was one of the friends or something. When his dad's farm or their farm, I can't remember.
Yeah.
So he said, we've got a farm. We'll do a large promo out there. I was like, all right, okay. And it's for the match leading up to a match with Mr. P.
The Kiss My Foot match, yeah.
And I'm going to rub my foot in all this dirty farm mud, so that when you kiss my feet, it's all nice and dirty. Like I wasn't going to wash my foot between then and when the match happened. But then I suppose it worked because I took my sock off and it was minging because we made it all dirty before we put it on. Sorry, giving it away here. I did actually wash my feet.
Secrets of wrestling revealed.
Secrets of wrestling revealed. I did wash the sheep shit off my feet.
It was not there for the next fucking month or whatever it was.
Yeah. It's still got the reaction. And then of course I had to have the moment where I lost the match, of course, and got his feet in my mouth, which really was actually the worst. I mean, getting up. I mean, you couldn't get a better man to get your foot in your mouth because Mr. P showers more than any regular man anyway. But still, it was never pleasant. It was never pleasant having someone's actually bare foot in your mouth. I've not got a foot fetish, never have. So
certainly don't now.
I personally think actually that feet are probably the most ugliest thing on a person's body.
Yeah.
But however, having them in your mouth, I guess we had to give the crowd their payoff, I suppose.
Yeah.
For listening to my nonsense for over the months. What's like eating the soap one with Andy Wilde? I mean, I guess.
Oh yeah, forgot about that one.
There was nothing really I want to do less than eating soap, but when you build towards it and you told me about it, it goes, oh, so we're going to have a loser eats the soap. I guess I'm losing, am I? As soon as I hear any gimmick match like that, well, I guess I'm losing, am I? I mean, maybe that makes me more of an idiot than anything else. We know he'll do it. It's fine. He'll eat the soap. He'll put the foot in his mouth. No bother.
Yeah, like commit to the gimmick. That's it. Just.
I mean, if you agree to the match and then you kind of have to follow through with the with the losing penalty, I suppose, don't you?
Yeah,
but then again, Mr. P never got his foot in my mouth straight after the match. He had to wait till the actual.
No, it was the Rumble. Yeah, of course it was. Yeah,
but had to build up to it, build the suspense, not for a title. No, not for a title loss. We had to build the suspense for Mr. P's foot going in my mouth.
Keep them waiting.
Keep them waiting for that. And then Grado came in, bumping for Grado, took an F5 from Grado, landed on my soap, and no boot on one of my feet, and so landed on my ankle. I hurt my ankle. I have no idea if it was where I landed or what. I have no idea. But yeah, King Grado, one of the biggest names in Scottish wrestling, bumping for him with no boot on because I've just had a man's foot in my mouth. I mean, that's kind of how my wrestling life's gone so far, isn't it?
Yeah. But you worked. It was one of the Anarchies you worked Grado, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Aye. So 15.
Yeah. No.
16
was it?
Would have been because, like I said, the Lord thing was just getting started when I was when I debuted.
When I worked Grado 1-on-1, I think that was the last Anarchy we've done, wasn't it?
Oh no, it was the 6-man I meant.
Oh, 6-man.
Lord. Yeah.
That was.
So
that
yeah,
was
you worked them twice then. I
That
forgot
was
about that one.
2015. That was maybe 2015. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Masters and Andy Wild, and so me, Malice, Andy Wild. See if I can remember this. Mr. P. X. No, not X Pac. X Pac wasn't my match. Mr. P. Chris Masters and Grado, of course.
Grado.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Jeeves Winchester at ringside.
Because you got the famous shot of them all having us in the master lock at the end.
Yeah. Aye. That's the one I was thinking. I forgot about the other one, the singles match you had with him.
I enjoyed that singles match actually. It's quite good.
Yeah, that was a good match. And do you want
to know my favourite moment from that match?
Go on
So I
then.
did a spot where I hit the ropes and I go for a pin. So most folk expect you to also do something when you hit the ropes, but I just hit the ropes and go for a pin. And so I did that spot. And then he kicks out and he goes, and he laughed and he goes, "Oh, that was quite funny." And I thought, Grado laugh, and he think that's funny. You know, that surely that's got to mean something, right? That's good.
I pop Grado. It's
Yeah, I think I pop Grado. I mean, that's something, surely.
But yeah, like that match made sense though. It was like yourselves, like a big comedy guy, whatever, and then Grado was probably the biggest comedy guy in the UK or whatever. It made sense to make that match eventually.
It did. I think. But yeah, I think the match was okay. I enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah.
And to hear a pop Grado even during the match was like, oh yeah. Might have been one of the first times I did the boat drop. In fact, the boat drop you mentioned.
Was it?
It might have been one of the first times I did the. Well, I used to do cannonball a few times, of course, before, but
yeah, it wasn't called the boat drop.
no, not quite called the boat drop. No, stealing Malice's gimmick of missing the cannonball, of course.
Yeah.
I
mentioned fucking Bradley. We did like a wee roundup on the last episode of the show, and he actually hit it on Muller Murphy. And I didn't again. He'd hit it. Like I was watching backstage, so I was like away at the back of the corridor, so I could only see the top half of the TV. So when I seen him come off, I just assumed he'd missed it. It wasn't until I watched it back, I was like, "Oh fuck, he hit it."
He did. He hit it. I actually got a pop with it.
I
think I actually got a wee pop for it.
It's because they've been waiting how many years to see him hit it.
I mean, it's Malice. Have they really been waiting for him to hit it? I mean, I'm not sure. Either see him hit it or see him just like die or something. I don't know, or stop. I don't know. I don't really think they've been waiting on him to hit it. But I mean, maybe
it was a surprise anyway.
I guess it was. Yeah. Obviously, the man who now owns the Lord gimmick, of course.
He does, yeah. He's
said Lord Al, and details for you all. It's the same cloak. Yeah, it's the same cloak I had that Michael Graham had.
It's handed from Lord to Lord.
I can call him Michael Graham. That was his Lord name anyway. Wasn't
it? Lord, well, Michael of Graham, but yeah, Michael Graham.
Yeah, okay, we'll go for that. And Lord Malice, of course, as well. All had the same cloak. Yeah.
It's just like I say again, fucking secrets of wrestling revealed.
I mean, the secrets of wrestling you never really want to know.
Answering the questions that nobody's asking.
What time is that now? Turn my phone upside down.
9 o'clock.
Oh, 9 o'clock. Sorry. Okay.
So
time limit now. Got a curfew.
Yeah. Another wee while before we can take a break. So yeah, like we're saying about the comedy stuff, like you with Grado or whatever, and then for whatever reason they put against Joe Henry, And I remember,
I mean,
I remember at the time you were very nervous about this. I was like,
I was.
What'd you do? I wear a hat and I do. I miss a cent on up the top. Like there's a guy's worked like he's worked Ring of Honor, and like he's at the Commonwealth Games as an actual wrestler, like amateur wrestler, whatever it's called, Grado wrestling. He's like, I wear a hat and this is cent on.
I think that's what I said. But I mean, like that's what I have to do. I mean, the moves don't really matter a fuck, do they really?
Yeah.
What you do or don't do. So I mean, I suppose it can work one or two ways. You can have nothing to give the guy to help you, or assist you and assist putting the match together, or the guy can go, all right, okay, so I'll get my stuff, put my shit in, and then work it out. You can work around it, which is kind of what happened in the end. But
that was another decent match. I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it, yeah. I also asked that question to myself, because obviously you've got the standard wrestle guys that have worked a few times and obviously trained with and stuff. And you ask yourself, could I work some outside guys, even guys that have got a lot of like experience?
Aye.
And okay, I mean, the no match ever goes perfect. There's always little nitpicky bits that you would have liked to, that you would have liked to go on smoother and easier. But yeah, the match with I quite enjoyed it. I was really nervous for that one. I get quite nervous for like working with somebody I don't know, especially somebody that's got like all experience. Like if she coming from Ring of Honor, wrestling me with my Steelers hat on. But again, he's a nice guy, so he kind of got the idea. He kind of got behind the gimmick, I suppose, and played into it a bit in his own way, which was exactly what you want people to do when they come in and work you. So that's why it worked, because he was a nice guy and was willing to, not willing, willing is the right word. He worked with what he had, which was me, and played into it. So the match worked, and that's why. Because we get some guys that come with a bit of a ego, shall we say, or people who are not even justified to have an ego, mind you, but have an ego either way.
Some of them, yeah.
And I think so I don't see how that benefits anybody. Like, I see it now. Obviously, I'm not saying I've worked in many various promotions. I haven't. I've worked different promotions, but not lots. And obviously now I'm very much just wrestling. But I like to think if I was working shows, your different promotions, you're looking at the promotion and how the fans that they actually, sell to. To base what you're going to do or how you work your match. Because the match isn't for you. The match isn't for anybody. It's for the crowd that you're working against. So I know I can work. I can do the character and the wrestlers and crowd will generally eat it up.
Yeah.
But obviously there's other promotions that the captain would probably get shot on. But
yeah.
But I think sometimes people don't realise that when they come up. Some people do. Some people get right on board with it. But I think some people don't realise that when they come up that you don't have to do that here.
I think that's why some guys come up to work for WrestleZone and you only see them once or twice. It's because they're big. Like they're not used to working in front of our sort of crowd.
But that's their problem and not WrestleZone's problem.
Yeah,
if you're not and I don't say that because I'm a WrestleZone guy. It's more that if you don't work the character, if you don't work the crowd,
if you can adapt to the crowd you're in front of, is
exactly.
That's on you. It's not on the promotion of the crowd, or that's on you for not being able to adapt it.
And you'll notice the guys that do and don't. I'm not going to name names because even though people want me to be controversial, I'm not going to be. The guys that are booked regularly, the guys that get it, the guys outside guys that book regularly, and outside the guys that aren't booked regularly, the guys that don't get it. And I'm not saying that they listen to me and give a fuck what I say. I mean, I don't give a fuck what I say, but that's pretty much it. If you can't adapt, adapt, then
It's
what's
like
the point?
I think looking sharp. He's been brought up a couple of times in this, but he's one that he'll come up for us. Like he does this blood tourist status deathmatch shit now, and he does now. But if he comes up more for WrestleZone, he does his comedy shit because he kens that's what the crowd eat up.
Yeah, exactly.
He kens how to adapt it to the crowd he's working for.
Some of the guys down there, this coming up to us can be a night off for them, almost.
Aye.
I know. I'm trying to get you that beer dog sponsor. I'm trying to get you a beer sponsor. It can be a night off from what they have to do. From the matches they have to put on at other promotions.
Yeah,
can be a night off. Can be a night off for them. Not a night off, but I mean, like, their body. If you don't have to, as I was saying earlier, you don't have to bump wild or bump mad to get a reaction.
aye, you definitely kill yourself
because that crowd we're are appealing to, our crowd that's coming to our shows. So yeah, there's the guys that get it, and the guys that don't tend to come back very often.
Right. So they said you can the one guys you'll only see once or twice. They'll get brought in once. They'll maybe get thrown a second and just you might get it this time. You'll never see them again because they work the way they work, and it's just doesn't work for WrestleZone. And say, well,
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no point. Or people have an ego backstage or don't like mingle a little bit with the boys.
Yeah,
I mean,
like especially I can Scotty's been on. He's like just burning every fucking bridge now. He's like he doesn't care. It's like fuck it. If you're a dick, you ain't getting fucking booked.
It's true. Like a lot of guys have actually mentioned how like non-political and non-dramatic our backstage kind of is.
Aye.
Because it is like that, and we want it to remain that. Well, the guys that run it want it to remain that way, as we all do. Because who the hell's the time for that?
I can we all do it because we like the wrestling and like being in front of a crowd, but half the fun of it is just like before the show, just hanging out with the guys, or even during the show, getting backstage with her. So you don't want just arseholes with egos and then just kicking about. It's like you just want, like the guys we've got, just guys getting a laugh with them.
Exactly. I mean, obviously folk have got their opinions how you shouldn't. Wrestling shouldn't be a hobby and should be aiming towards a career or earning money. And I can see why people might say that, but to say that there shouldn't be people who. Just because you treat it as a hobby or just because you don't see it as your full-time employment, it doesn't mean that you still can't do it to a good, safe level.
I think,
and does it mean that you can't that because you don't think about it as a potential career that you shouldn't be doing it at all?
Aye, there was one seminar we had where I'm sure it was Santino, but he worked for one of the archies, and we did the seminar with him, and I think he said the same thing. I says, your guys that are just weekend warriors, whatever, they'll do it. They'll maybe just work one, maybe two promotions here or there, and they'll just take the weekends, and they're happy doing that. But they'll still take it seriously. They'll go out and train and whatever, but there's no illusions that they're going to go any further than far they are. And you've got the like younger guys who want to go out and work everywhere, and eventually, again, the goal is WWE or AEW. Or he said it doesn't matter how far your goals are, as long as you're taking it seriously enough to put on good matches or whatever.
Yeah, if you're not giving a crap, if you're not giving a crap and you don't care what kind of match quality wise you put on in any way, then you won't get booked for wrestles anyway.
Yeah.
Whether it doesn't matter, who you know or whatever. It doesn't make a difference. You've still got to be able to put on a decent show that the crowd react to.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking match quality in terms of like like I've said, you can put on a match that people respond to and you don't do much. Or you can put in a match that you work every technical hold and people don't respond to. So which one are you likely to book again? It's going to be what the crowd. It's going to be what the crowd responded to. Because the crowd responded to it, then the crowd's going to come back because they enjoyed it. If the crowd are not responding, then maybe you're doing the wrong thing for the crowd.
That's the thing. You could put on, like, the guys say, again, a 5-star match, but it's got other spots, whatever. But if the crowd aren't reacting to it, it's not a 5-star match. It's just
no. Even if only a few members of the crowd are responding to it, because obviously in a crowd you will get very different types of people.
Yeah,
people who take it seriously. Get people who want to see the 5-star matches. People who want to see characters, which mainly is what we get. The children who want to see who react to characters, and generally pantomime, boos and yes. Obviously, you've got your one Vago fan. She's got another shout out. She'll be delighted. But yeah, I always put, like, I compare it to football. I try to say people should not play 5-a-side. People should not play with 11-a-side in amateur teams. People should not play only if they're going to be professional footballers. Should they play football?
I think
it is in the exact same vein. And obviously, I agree that people should have to have been a reputable wrestling school and learn the trade properly. And so they can perform it safely. Obviously, that's a given. But to say that you should only be doing it and you're stealing spots from other people if you don't take it seriously, you're not trying to be a full-time professional wrestler. I don't agree with that. Especially in the UK, you know.
I mean, I get it. It's kind of like, just now it's never been easier to get to, like, practically in, because WWE's got their NXT UK or whatever it is, and you've got all these different fucking promotions in the network. So it's like it's never been easier to mark the steps up, but it's like, it doesn't mean everybody should.
No, of course. It's the people that come along that are training and they try it, they have a few sessions or even one session, and they don't come back.
Yeah, it's like some folk just aren't cut out for it. It's the end of the day. Like, you can be,
it's not
the biggest wrestling fan on the planet, but just because you love wrestling that much doesn't mean you can be a wrestler. Whether physically or mentally you're not cut out for it, it's
not for everybody.
No.
And what I love about our shows, even, or when people hear from a wrestler, I probably have the same thoughts if someone told me that, which I'd take the piss. Well, sorry, I would take the piss, no me. But but I love when people got to watch it, and like my girlfriend recently did, and it's like, oh, it's far better. It was better than I thought it would be. Like, you know, people, and that's been a constant thing throughout. People that have come to see us wrestle. Oh, it's far better than I thought it would be. I don't know what perception people have in their heads when they first kind of, like, you know, get it. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's like, I would say this to you, but it's like, you'll get parents bringing along their kids, and the kids are mad into wrestling, but the parents kind of obviously couldn't care less, whatever. So if you can hook the parents at a show and get them believing stuff and getting into it, I say you've done your job. Because the kids are going to be into it regardless. Like, as long as you put in a decent match, the kids are going to be into it. It's just wrestling. If they love wrestling, they got to love.
Oh yeah.
But if you can hook the parents for, they don't really watch it. They're only there because they're bringing their kids or whatever. If you can hook them and get them coming back, that's get a reaction, and that's the thrill of it. Getting a reaction out the folk that wouldn't normally watch this kind of thing or whatever.
And if you can look at the show from an overall point of view, in terms of an overall card, as opposed to just your match, then you can kind of see that they're entertained by everything they see that night, or it's not a story, but like being, again, I'll put back to the circus. Like being at the circus, you see a different act each time, so you're not watching the same thing each time, and that way they're likely to come back if they see 6 matches the same on one card, and they're not going to come back because they've just seen it for 6 times. What's the point coming back? If you can see an overall night where you've had different things and you've been entertained by different things, then you're more likely to come back and say, "Oh, I wonder what I'll see tonight." You know, but if you're going to see the same thing, or even you come to 2 shows, say, and you see 6 matches the same, you think, "Well, I might just give the next one a miss because I know what I'm going to see. I've saw it the last 2 times anyway." Because I mean, if you look at it from like a wrestling crowd's point of view, as an example, we've got some fans that have been there like 5-6 years, and the only way to keep them coming is for the story. Well, obviously different storylines, but different storylines and different matches, like different matches and different angles and different. The matches varying on the show. They're coming to see it as a show as opposed to seeing a specific match.
Yeah. It's like, I think the big thing is the wrestlers on maybe some of the promotions dinner is that they've always got some sort of storyline running through every single show.
Mm-hmm.
So they're always building to something, or maybe 2 or 3, 4 different things at the same time. They're building to something. So every match means something. It's not just that we're just here's 2 guys in a match just for sake of in a match. I say a lot of the time they are building to someone and it hooks them in, so they say, "Oh well, we need to come back and see if it happens in the next scene," and so forth. And again, you just keep getting them back that way.
Yeah, if you can get to the point where I mean, sometimes run a show from a wrestler's point of view, you're going to a show, you can't always have a storyline.
Yeah,
wrestling's quite good. Normally, you do have something to work with. But you can't always have something.
Aye. So everyone can be figured in all the time. That's
which is fine. I mean,
it happens.
Yeah. But I guess that's when you have to have the ability, which I think most of us have got, to have a match that's going to entertain that crowd.
Yeah.
That type of crowd. Thankfully, most of the time they respond to pantomime stuff, the boos and the yes. I'm not trying to hide from the fact that I think that we've got it. We've got a very good crowd in terms of they don't make our job easy, no, because you've still got to put on the correct. You've still got to perform. Not perform. That's the word. I don't know what the bloody word is, but you still got to put on the match that they respond to. But if you get them to respond, if you get the bites that you want, then there's nothing better than it, and than that feeling, I think.
Yeah.
And I think once you've had it once or twice, that's what you always strive to do again.
Aye. Once you get that bug, you just want to keep going and doing it again. Like you said, you just want to keep going back and getting that same reaction or bigger
people
reaction.
Entertained. To get people invested and entertained in what it is that you're doing.
Aye.
Which I think is what's attracted me to the comedy side of things, is that people are invested and interested in what you're doing. It's not that people are not interested in the wrestling side. Like I could have, I could have continued to straight lace Alan Sterling stuff, and I would have worked hard enough to get the action. But that's the whole point. I would have had to work. I would have had to work harder. And I like to make people laugh in general in normal life. So they say your best character is you turned up to the volume turned up full.
Yeah,
and I think that's pretty much what most of my characters have been.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like,
yeah. Why would you not use that? It's like, it makes
exactly.
sense.
I've been able to make people laugh most of my life. So why not? If you think you can be funny, then use it in your character, and it comes easy. It not comes easy to you, but you can use it as a tool.
Aye.
It'll
come across as more natural. That's the thing, and the crowd will buy it.
Yeah, but even when people shit on that as well, that people shit on the comedy wrestling, or they shit on they shit on bigger characters. Not everybody can do that. Not everyone can be a bigger character. Not everybody can put the comedy stuff and implement it into a match style. So
the ones that do that are generally the fucking Johnny Kickpads. There's like every other one. They're just doing the indie bullshit that they've seen on the latest fucking AEW show or whatever.
It's so it's shit in it. I don't understand, because it's it's still a it's still a form. It's a form of art. It's art. I'm jumping like a right prick now. A form of a form of storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's it's something different that I haven't seen on the night yet. So I don't get why people think they're above it, or I don't understand that, because it's another form of telling a story, and if you can incorporate that and still tell the story and still get a reaction, then where's the harm? And there is like not everyone can be funny. Not everyone can get a funny reaction. Not everyone can give you the facials or the timing of the reactions or whatever. That in itself, like, not everyone's a comedian in real life, so it's like I don't get that crapping on it. There's only ever been one Grado, for example, and he's one of the biggest Scottish stars. He blew up the Scottish scene. He
did.
Made it onto television, and there's no doubt that he was the grenade behind it, in my opinion. The attention from the attention he brought to it, and he was still very, 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 very capable worker, and still is, of course. And he didn't do that because he couldn't work the matches. He did it because he was good at it, and that he got and it was him. It's how he is in real life. And it's turned up to max, and people are entertained by it. And that's not an accident. That's not just doing that because he's lazy. That's doing that because it's what he was good at and what worked.
Aye, it's what got a reaction. It's like,
and not everybody could do it.
Aye.
So I don't understand how some people, not everybody, but some people down on it, and why? Because like it's still a talent.
It's got spot in the card, and it's like just as much as anything else, you need that. And like every card should hit at least something like that.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's not people picking and choosing. Like generally, it's not somebody saying that I can't do that so much, so I'll just do this, or I can't do that, I'll just do this. It's doing what you're best at. Like if you're best at making people laugh, make people laugh. If you're best at putting on a technical masterpiece, put on a technical masterpiece. Like Aspen Faith, in my opinion, very, very amazing technical wrestler. Like when he came to training, and then he started also quickly learning it and quickly picking up the technical side of things. Like I thought, the stuff this guy can do technicals, like just even on the fly with him, it's like I can't compete with that. I have no idea, but and that's what he brings to a show, or can bring to a show. He's not tied to one bow, I don't think, but it's what he can bring to a show. And it's like your Zack Dynamite's, fast-paced, lots of action in your, that's what he brings to a show.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not saying it's what he's tied to and what he's always bowstring to, but
that's
it's what he brings to a show. Yeah, because everyone has that thing that they're best at, and that they excel in. You're very much like, not very much like me. You've like the pumpkin on the head, the things in that match. You took the match. Some people take the match that they're given and they think, oh, what the hell will we do with this?
Yeah.
But every match is an opportunity to expose yourself, just to show you what you can do. So to take any match that you're in and try and make the best of it, like some of the matches I've been in, kiss my feet, to take the match and try and make the best of it as what you're in is the only way to do it.
Yeah, it's like you mentioned the Halloween match, like me and Dynamite were both in that match. And obviously Dynamite's got he was trying to put stuff together. I was like, I'm getting the others, like you're saying, fast paced, like counter wrestling is what I call it. It's like I'll do this and I'll counter it and I'll counter it. Somebody else is like, I'm just gonna put a pumpkin on my head. That's what I'm gonna do.
And they got just as much reaction, if not more. I mean, that's what everyone does have that thing, and that's a good thing. But yeah, it's
yeah, like you say, not everybody can work every kind of style, but you should. The thing that you're best at, you should work, because that's.
But that's you turned up, isn't it?
Without looking and doing on the other styles that maybe you can't do. I say, well, get a reaction with what you're best at.
Even I think most of the time, not the ones you can't do, but the ones you're best at. Yeah, the ones that get you the biggest reaction.
Aye, yeah.
But it's not saying you're not capable of other styles, and you can adapt. Obviously, the best professional wrestlers in the world who can adapt themselves to any style and excel at them all. But you know, if there is something that you do excel at and an avenue that you get a best reaction with, then yeah, go with that. And nobody else is doing it on the card, for example, then yeah, go with it, because you're providing a different option to people to choose from on what they're watching. So yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone should ever look down on any particular style if it's working.
No, that's the thing. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's our wrestling. It's absolutely subjective. It's
exactly, of course. At the end of the day, some people can look at it and say, "Oh, it's men in their pants wrestling." I mean, you want people to lose themselves in that. You want people to look to what's the wording? Sorry, I forgot now.
Oh,
suspend disbelief. That's
what I was looking for. Aye.
So you can suspend disbelief a few ways. So you can have your match that's entertaining enough. Any way that's entertaining enough. Whether it's comedy, whether it's from a fantastic technical bout, whether it's from anything, you can suspend disbelief because they're believing in the story you're telling, no matter what that story might be. It's all suspending disbelief.
Aye.
And they're getting into what you're doing. So it doesn't matter how you do that, whether it's the best technical masterpiece you've ever seen or whether it's making people laugh. It's still suspending disbelief. They're getting into what you're doing. So yeah, I don't understand the whole looking down on it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Aye, yeah. But yeah, we got very serious there.
Oh, we did. But to be serious for a moment, it's okay, because I mean that's the controversy side that people want to get to. But
this all back up what I've been saying for. I've mentioned it in a few episodes now. Like when I first started, like it was like I said, it was always you and Damien were on a Sunday, and obviously the guys I came in, we dropped out, and then the next group I was bumped up to good dropped out. So eventually I was just training with the boys. So it was a lot of time was just you and Damien and Archer, because he was here every Sunday. He was here fucking other thing. But I've mentioned this a few times, like, well, Alan's got this reputation for just being a buffoon in the ring on a hand, but he kens what the fuck he's speaking about. And that's just proved exactly that. You ken what you're speaking about. You need just
it's
at it.
Yeah. I do what I get a reaction to. People laugh, and I don't have to bump so much, so I'm sure to make people laugh. I mean, if we had a whole card of people making people laugh, then it would work, obviously. But we don't have that, so I play my part on the overall card.
Yeah.
Right, we might have to edit this P out, unless you want. Well, maybe not. Maybe we just have this be the podcast of P's. You could name it "Taking the Piss Podcast," I suppose.
So here we go, the second one of the night.
How come you have a PJ?
I suppose
you do this every fortnight. I suppose.
Yeah, I can get 4 or 5 beers in before I need to go, so I'm good.
You're well versed in this. Me drinking on a school night. I mean, that's just unheard of.
Drinking on a thing. Like, if anything, this podcast has got me a reputation as being just an alky bastard. Like, everyone is like, it's a Tuesday night, I'm having a drink. It's a Wednesday night, I'm having a drink. It's a Thursday night. Like, every fucking time.
Well, as we discussed, it fits them your shifts. All right.
Well,
I might stop there. I'll stop there and I'll go and get the boys ready for bed.
Yeah.
Right. Where were we? I can't remember where we were now.
The very serious discussion about wrestling.
What? Oh, was it? We took it very serious, didn't we? We did.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're done that now.
Yeah, we have.
Well, we've covered that base. I don't know. Maybe younger me would have got more controversial about it all, but I'm more mature now, as many folk who watch this will laugh. But
Well, you say
yeah,
you do anything controversial. I'll try and get someone out of you.
go on then.
So Scotty did bring up someone else when I mentioned I was getting you on.
Oh, okay.
And it was the promotion that you didn't want to name, which has been dropped in the shit a couple of times in this podcast, I will say.
Okay,
but he just brought up two names, which was Braveheart and Claymore.
Well, I mean, we were on shows before we should have been anyway, right? To start with, me and William Sterling, and people are expecting us to tell them what to do, and we're like, we don't even know what we're doing ourselves. And then we went on to wrestle like Braveheart and Claymore, who were they've been doing it a while. Well, Braveheart certainly have been doing it a while, and I mean, still would have got paid, which was ridiculous. Never mind. And then I don't know. Braveheart was. I think Braveheart. The matches were all right. I mean, they weren't. Also, they wouldn't stand up to now, but
yeah,
for them they were okay. And we tried to make them make sense and tell a simple story throughout, a simple match guide. But yeah, I think it was a time that I don't even know if that was Braveheart and or Flying Scotsman, as they call themselves. I don't even know if it was them that we were facing when Braveheart had me in the sharpshooter and he fell over. I don't really know how, like, what I was supposed to do at that point in time. Whether like, he fell over.
Yeah.
It's like it wasn't like a technical fall over. Like, I'm still going to try and make sure I've still got this this hold synced in. No, it was like I fell. It was just a fucking fall over. So I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I had no idea. I just wanted to. So we knew quite early on working for SW what we were in for and what we were signed up to. Even at our early stages where we really had no right to know anything. We still knew what we're into, but it was a chance to wrestle, a chance to get more experience and get in the ring and stuff. So we did it, and to be honest, I don't have complete regrets about it at all. But yeah, some of those matches were a bit questionable. So some of the shit you had to put up with, like
I say, you got some stories you did at least.
The time Braveheart had to do a speech about he was going to get test over for one of the shows, or he planned to get test over for one of the shows or something for one of the Hell for Likeless.
Aye.
And he done a speech, but when obviously Test died, which was unfortunate, of course. But then done a speech about Test in his life, like we're about to put our heads down and bow, like we, like we knew him, like we, like we're all really upset about it and listened to him. The Braveheart speech at the end of a show is quite a regular occurrence, actually.
Yeah, I think we've all had the stories with Braveheart's rousing speeches.
I mean, you could argue, get what he was trying to do, I suppose, but yeah, it's like somebody's ripping off a Bret Hart gimmick with your gear, and your name's almost the same, but you're nowhere near as talented. Like, that's
yeah.
It was all right. Kind of claiming that kind of almost a Samoa Joe ripoff. Did the same moves and did the same, but he was okay for the time. I mean, but yeah, and then when we kind of parted ways with that company, or someone's did. And I think my fate was sealed when Scott got a T-shirt that said, because a comment was made about Scott that he was just a Poundland. That he was a Poundland Bret Hart. No, that's crap. Scott got a T-shirt that said Braveheart was a Poundland Bret Hart.
Yeah.
I can't remember who made this. Oh, Scott said the statement, but I can't remember what it was or whatever. Anyway, you got a T-shirt of it, which I thought was quite funny. So I took a photo of it and then tagged Braveheart in it. And I tagged SW in it. I was on a night out at some point. I think that was my fate sealed. I mean,
Yeah.
it was maybe sealed before that, but yeah, like they had they had like award nights and things. Like you'd go to like for a proper dinner. A proper dinner, might I add, where at stovies.
I was about to say, bring up the stovies because I think it's been told on this one. So bring up the stovies.
So an award night, which is ridiculous in itself. But anyway, obviously at the time we were like, oh, whatever. And I had stovies. So stovies, get some free stovies, it's fine. So the plate's dished up and it's tatties and onions. It's like, what the fuck? He said, oh, Braveheart's like, oh, as Braveheart, never to tell you that, you know, something wrong. No, that's traditionally how stovies is made. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
There was some meat in it.
Where's the meat?
Surely. So yeah, that was, I don't know, the word ceremony where we got served tatties and onions.
In fact, were these the same award ceremonies where you had to hand the awards back because they use them the next year?
Yeah. Oh, it was it was ridiculous to be a award ceremony, but at the time I suppose we didn't really know any better.
Yeah, it was experience at the time. That's
it was, and because we had the like storytelling matches, but a simple storyline of Sterling Oil and a tag team matches. If you can work it, if you get the gist of it, you can work tell a decent story. So we did well, at least. I mean, the quality of the wrestling maybe wasn't up to much, but the story we were able to tell was still something. So SB seemed like that, and so yeah, this award ceremony, and I'm trying to think of stories there was from the award ceremony, but I can't remember anything.
Yeah,
I can't remember anything from the stovies. Braveheart falling over in the sharpshooter. Chaz Phoenix asking me.
Is that the paedophile Chaz Phoenix? Because that's his name. That's his name now.
The one-legged Chaz Phoenix. the one-legged paedophile. Yeah, that's him. Anyway, he like wanted me to take my t-shirt off. I mean, I wasn't a child, so I wondered why. And he said, "Oh, so I didn't want to take the t-shirt off anyway." So he said, "Oh, I bet you if Lionheart asked you to take a t-shirt off, you would." I said, "No." I don't know what point he was trying to make for that.
Yeah, just strange one.
Very strange one. I think he just wanted to see my topless thing. I think maybe I look youthful. And
that was it.
And he thought, "Oh, quite like him." But yeah, that was. I can't remember. That's pretty much it, really. I mean, there is. I'm sure there's loads of stories that I'm forgetting.
Yeah, they'll all come back as soon as we stop recording. But yeah,
well, of course, they will.
You can tell them all when you come back on.
Come back, yeah. I mean, definitely, we've barely covered anything. There definitely needs to be a part 2. I think we've barely covered anything.
Yeah, see you much.
I thought we'd struggle to fill the time, but no,
it's getting there.
It is. It's getting there as well.
Even with 2 breaks, still filled the time.
Pour my last beer. Let's move my last beer for tonight.
Right.
No, I did say a 10 o'clock curfew, didn't I? What time is it now?
It's after 10 now.
Oh,
Quite past.
right, I will have to go. But I'll we'll have one last story.
Just, at least stay till you finish your beer.
I can't, I've got to get up at. Well, anyway, doesn't matter. What last story? What last story could we tell?
Well, in fact, since you're going, like, we'll do someone I always do on these things, which is your dream gig. Like the fantasy booking is wrestlers, but and this thing we're putting together a dream gig. So
a dream match.
No, your dream gig. Like, so you've got three bands. So
Oh, okay.
You can hit
any. Yeah, I forget you don't really cover that. Okay, yeah.
Any era bands, or they can be alive or dead, or broken up or still together. So you've got an opener, a mid card, and a headliner. So if you're putting together your dream gig, and I don't know how much of a music guy you are, but we'll find it. So you're putting together your dream gig.
Maybe not the heavy metal hooligan that you are, but
like you're about ages with me, so I assume you got the new metal shit when that was kind of out. Then
I certainly did. So
so yeah,
mid card would be like mid card would be Linkin Park for me.
Right. Okay.
And I never saw them. I'd always wanted to see them when they were when he was still alive, I suppose.
I was about to say,
never
did now, isn't there? Or was it?
Aye. Headline. Oh,
I go with the opener first.
Headliner would be Oasis, because I'm a massive Oasis mark, and I'll happily accept that. And opener. See, I just don't know what bands to choose from, because there's so many. But who would I want to be my dream actual gig? Oh, Blackstone Cherry. Blackstone Cherry's my opener. Mid card, Linkin Park, and Oasis is my headliners. Yes, that would be it.
Although I would say, as long as Blackstone Cherry stick to the early stuff, because a lot of the later stuff is just garbage. Stay good.
Yes. I also agree with that. Yeah. So the early stuff's much better than their most recent stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the last two albums were not the greatest, but I thought the one that had I can't remember the name it was. I'm terrible with names of albums and shit, remembering anything. Yeah. But when In My Blood and all that, that's when they started going a little bit like the album that's on. That's when they started going a little bit, as you say. What's the word? More pop, not poppy. Poppy is not the right word. More chart friendly, shall we say?
Aye. Let's go with that.
But I even enjoyed that album. But beyond that, no, there's not. No, the cover album they did recently, which came out, was it Family Tree? There's one or two songs on that one I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw them once, and I think that they would probably be my dream gig. I've seen Iron Maiden like 5 times, so it's the only reason they're not on my dream gig, because I saw them so many times.
Yeah, I think your boy Caleb did the same thing when I asked him. He was like, well, I could hate bands that I've seen, but he stuck to bands that he'd never be able to see because they were broken up or a couple of them died, or
like I saw Blackstone Cherry once, and I'd like to see them again. So maybe they'd be opener mid card, or maybe Linkin Park never seen, like they've seen. Oasis, I either in a dream or I actually did see them in Aberdeen at some point. I never saw Liam Gallagher. I never saw Liam Gallagher recently, but to see Oasis in their heyday would have been for me pretty because it's a character as well. It's like kind of the lead singer and the character of it as well that I like. But yeah, that's for me. That's why that'd be my. I think. I'm sure I'm missing out bands that I saying no, I need to put them in. But definitely probably is bands I'm not thinking of. But off taking it off the so just thinking of it naturally, just caught unaware. That would be probably who I would go for. I think without time to think about it.
Yeah, it's a bad gig. Like I was never a big Linkin Park fan. I was never into them.
Hybrid Theory was, I loved that album, the first album they released. But after that, there's not really a lot of stuff. Like, there's a few songs for their albums, but as long as they played Hybrid Theory, I'd be fine.
Like I said with the new metal thing, like I got into it and then I very quickly go back into it again. So I just find the heavier stuff.
I'm like that with a lot of bands. There's a lot of like albums that I love, but then there's other albums that I'm like, there's only 1 or 2 songs I like on that album.
Aye.
There's rarely a band that I like every album they produce. You know.
Aye.
I mean, Metallica, as I say, there's bands like Metallica I like, but there's certain songs that I like. Maiden, I liked up to like Dance to Death. I think that was the last album that I really enjoyed of theirs. The other ones just like songs after that, a few songs here and there I like after that.
Yeah.
Dance to Death was like the last one that I like really enjoyed. What else was there? Jeez, putting the spot. I'm a big Feeder fan, but I do actually like a lot of their recent albums, particularly.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of.
It's because the drummer died.
Well, might be, but I think Comfort and Sound was probably the last album that I enjoyed, like really enjoyed. I'm sure there's loads. I'm like I am a big music fan, but it's I like a varied amount of stuff from rap to heavy metal to metal to new metal. There's a varied amount of stuff that I like. Like Eminem before would be one of my dream gigs, I would think, at some point as well. Not putting it over the bands I've chosen, but he'd be in there somewhere because to see him would be like one of those special things, I think.
Aye.
AC/DC would be, I think it would be another one. But again, they're like ones that are songs off of albums that I like. I can't really say there's one album that I think that's my album. Like that. There's few bands I've got an album that I say that's my album. I love that album.
Aye.
Hybrid Theory, Third of Fire is one album that I just enjoy that entire album. And there's quite a few Oasis albums I like. And Certified are my headliners, of course.
You would hope so.
I saw Liam Gallagher when he was in Aberdeen just before the last gig before the pandemic, actually.
I was saying that was right before Iron shut down, wasn't it? He played
right
Aberdeen.
before, yeah. I think it was November 2019, I think, yeah.
Was it? I thought it was later than that. I thought it was.
But anyway, I better get going. And I will definitely be a part 2, I think, because we barely covered everything.
So thanks for that. Thanks to the guest this week.
I thought we'd struggle to fill anything, but
I've still got some notes left that we haven't used, so we'll get back to it.
definitely need to do a part 2.
Although it'll probably take another fucking 6 months to sort this out again after the backlast.
Probably, yeah.
So like I said, that's been another episode in the can. It's like I said, it's a first with the pee breaks. If that doesn't get us get some listeners, that can be well.
Well, I mean, if you're a state of you in that mixed one wasn't enough to put people off, then the pee breaks won't be a problem.
Aye, if they can get through that, aye.
Right. See you later.
Thanks again, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, right. Bye bye.